What's up, guys? I'm sure you guys noticed I have a new bumper, but I did upgrade some other things on the truck, and I'm going to show you guys how to install them. So we're going to jump into the video pretty quickly. And if you do have some GM points, just know that you have up to like 25% off, I think, on GM's website for accessories. And so your points plus that can almost get some of the stuff for free. So here's the grill. Pretty much already have it undone. I find it easier to work inside my bedroom because it's not 30 degrees outside in my garage. So I've pretty much already taken down the C right here. So just so you know, you have these tabs that you have to pull down on. You see, right? Might be better to see it this way. You see right there? So you kind of have to push up on those tabs and then push them through. Now this one here is one that I thought was going to be a little tricky, but it was actually pretty easy. I'll go ahead and turn it around so you guys can see where it's at. So that AT4X badge goes right here, and you basically have to push up on these tabs here. In other words, if you're trying to do this yourself, you don't want to break these tabs. If you break these tabs, your new emblem will not go in correctly. So don't break those tabs, okay? So I'm just gonna flip it around so you guys can see. So right there is pretty much where that AT4X badge goes, and then you guys can pretty much tell I already have that C off. And let's go ahead and start working on getting these other two off. I'll try to do it on camera. I don't recommend this. If you can find something maybe harder plastic, that might be the move, simply because it's easy to break plastic with metal. And so that's why I just recommend, if you have like a pry tool that's plastic, probably hard plastic, that might be better for this. So let's start with the G here. So all you have to do is just lift up slightly like this. And it might always be better to have someone to help you with this too on the other side. That way they can push against the grill. But again, you want to do your best not to break these tabs here that I'm pulling up on. You can kind of see I've made a mark to get it out right there. So that side is out. Now we're going to go over to this side. Do the same thing, not too hard. All right, so on this side next. All right, so that side is out there. And now we gotta move up to this side. So what I have to do is I have to flip the grill over. That way, again, I have better leverage and I don't break those tabs. So all we gotta do now is just repeat what we did at the top. Just push down on these as much as possible, not too much. And you gotta switch sides. It might be better to have something you can push this with. I think I'm gonna go grab another tool. That way I can push on these, because my fingers are just done because of how cold it's been. It might be easier to have something to push as I pry up on this plastic trim piece. So all you have to do is lift up on the tab. I'll do these because it's better. Like this. And if you have stronger hands than I do, you probably don't have to use these pliers at all. And then they're pretty much loose now, but let me show you guys what you have to do now. It's really easy at this point. But figure this is probably gonna take you 20 minutes tops. And by the way, I already cleaned my grill off too, so this is all pretty much clean. The G is pretty much already off, and like I said, nothing's damaged, and there was actually an extra clip here too. So just take your time. That way you don't have to, you know, break this cheap plastic stuff here. I wish there was a better way to do this, but again, it's just cheap plastic. It's held on very securely, and you don't want to have to replace this grill. This grill is probably maybe $1,500, give or take. If you need to get a new one, that's probably including painting, but still not worth getting a new grill because you want it to black out your emblems, only to destroy your grill. I'm just gonna get these last clips off and then I'll be done here. And it's done. Now that I installed my AEV bumper, I will not need to replace these badges on the bumper here. Now, if they get here in time, maybe I'll put those in here and they'll be blacked out. But yes, these are just held on by the same clips. And actually, you probably can pull this one down by just pulling back the fabric liner, and then you can get those out pretty easily. So on the side of the truck here, let me just show you guys. I did not get a badge for this one because it blacks out the bronze, and I'd rather keep the bronze because this is a signature for the AT4X. So we're gonna keep that there. And maybe I'll just pull out that chrome Duramax diesel badge. Now these here, once the badges get here, I'll show you guys what I do. But all you have to do is heat these up really good. Just put a lot of heat on them and then pull them off. But before you do so, heat them up really good and then tape them off. That way you can pretty much put the new ones up in this exact same spot. Same thing goes for the ones out back. Now, some of you guys know when I got my truck, I did remove the Sierra badge that was right there, and that's not going back up. But same thing goes for these. Just heat them up really good, and then they just come off a lot easier. The cleanup is a lot easier, but you want to heat them up first and then tape them off. And that way, when you go to put your new badges up, it's a lot easier. We just got the packages in. Right now, it's like Black Friday, Cyber, whatever. So I got 20% off basically on my order because I spent over $500. So these are gonna be for the emblems. So, oh yeah. So these go on the back. I will say though, why still the chrome? I don't understand. Like, why didn't they go like a black chrome maybe? I don't know. Oh, GM, they love chrome. But yep, we have those. Those gonna be for the rear. And looks like they might even have some directions. These could go for the front too, but oh no, these are definitely inside of here. These are for the front. I can go ahead and slap these on now, but just like you just saw, you can see the back ones there. And it does look like they give you directions too. Hopefully you guys see this. Oh yeah. So this should be pretty easy to do. They already have it lined up for you. So these go on the side. This goes on the rear. Although I'm not putting this Sierra badge on because I pretty much debadged that. I think there's just too many badges on the rear, but these are gonna go on the sides of the truck. Lastly, here are the mini badges. So I won't be using these because, as I said, I have the AEV bumper now. They say 2,500, but I will be using this badge here. They still put a little bit of red in there for me. They can't miss that red, so I took a little bit of it out. Maybe I could probably get this blacked out too, but oh well, not a big deal. I had some time to really think about this. The goal here was to get rid of all the chrome, and I did not want to add these on. So let me show you guys what I did here. I got this package here today from Amazon, or not Amazon, this is from eBay. And I decided I want to get a true blackout. So I got these, and I'll let you guys know exactly from where. And you guys will see, it gives you the matte, like a matte black here, and then you have a gloss black too. So if you want a true blackout badge, no chrome, this is what you have to get. And I'll be sure to put in the description where I got these from. I got to give a shout out to this. The shipment was so fast. I expected to get these in like another few days, honestly. I was not expecting them so quickly, but they have front and rear. These are going to be the fronts. And yeah, here's an M. This is probably going to be for the front too. And then GMC, these are going to be for the rear. But yeah, I like the look of these. They look like they're high quality, and they pretty much are exactly what I was going for blackout. So now I'm going to go ahead and start installing them. So this video is going to be helpful for that too. And if you do want to get these, obviously you can get them from GMC. I have GM points that I needed to use. You know, I've been looking at some stuff to get, so I got these plus the other stuff, and I got a nice discount with it because there's like 20% off too. So I got discount plus the points. So that's why I decided to get these two, because they weren't much more money. I want to say these were less than $80 for the front and rear emblem. So let's go ahead and get these installed. So yeah, all you got to do is just pop this on here. You have the bronze, and with the thunderstorm color, it just looks so much better. Getting a true blackout with this. Now, if you need to figure out how to uninstall your grill, I have a video where I show you guys how to do that. But yeah, that looks so much nicer compared to the chrome. So here's what the chrome would look like right next to it, just so you can have an idea. It's just bright. I mean, it doesn't look bad. I mean, I'm not saying that, but if I had a Denali Ultimate, maybe I wouldn't care as much. But for the AT4X, I think it looks so much better like that. You gotta hear a clicking sound too. And you might even have to pick it up like this and just push in from both sides. But you wanna hear that click sound, and then that's how you know it's secure. Now, this may not be a big deal because you could probably work around it. But if you do uninstall your grill for whatever reason to like remove the other emblems, and you decide you can just put your grill back on because you can just pop these in, you're still going to need to slide your hand back here to get the clips to like secure, fasten. Now this C, I'm having some issues to get it in there. It will not clear right here. So I have the OEM C here. You can see that that cross is a little bit smaller. So you guys see like this, how it goes in perfectly. So I have to probably trim down this piece a little bit for it to work perfectly. So these are not factory. So it's the lower one right here. So when the C goes in, this hole is too small. So instead of modifying my grill, I'm just going to modify this emblem, and then everything else should be fine. All I did was use these to trim it down a little bit. You guys can see how I trimmed it, and now it's good to go. This is the factory emblem, so it should go in with literally no issues. Yep. So yeah, that one clips right in perfectly. And as I said, now I have a nice cohesive flow with the front end. No chrome and bronze and the thunderstorm. I think this looks so much better. So here's what we're gonna do. You guys see, there's really no template that you can use on the side of the truck. So we're gonna use some painter's tape, and we're just gonna kind of create a template, okay? It's only been about a minute or so. You guys see how it's starting to move? Well, you may not be able to see it in the camera, but it's really starting to move now. Watch this. Yeah, they're starting to really get nice and soft. And I like to get them really soft, but you don't want to damage the paint. So this, again, don't get too close and move I would say like this at the speed here. But yeah, another minute or two, I'm gonna start showing you guys what I'm gonna do next, okay? But yeah, let's go ahead and start taping it. That way you have a basis point here, okay? So we'll just tape it right here. All right. And then we're gonna just do the same thing all the way around. You know you're gonna need a kit like this. That way you can get the glue off a lot easier. I've, in the past, torn up my fingers just using them to try to take off that glue. And this is just gonna make life so much easier. So this is what we're gonna pretty much use for that. And you'll see pretty much every tool. But yeah, we're gonna start with this guy here. Just like start taking off the glue, and then we'll go from there. All right, so here we go. I was gonna use some tooth floss, but I feel like this glue is just, man. This is definitely an upgrade you wanna do early on. That way you can easily take off this glue, especially in the summertime. That's the best time to do these types of upgrades too, when it's hot and your truck's just sitting, or car, whatever you're doing this on, sits in the sun. That's when like this just becomes super easy. You can pretty much tell the glue is starting to break free here. And I can probably just pry this off now. Let's go this way with it. There it is. Man, I'm almost taking the glue right off with the emblem. Almost. Let's see. Nope. But the good news is, it's prying really easily. So I got the first emblem off. I'm not gonna save these so I don't have to make them look pretty either. Now this is a plastic scraper too, by the way. If you use metal, you're gonna be very upset with the results. I don't think that I have to say that, but I figured I'll just mention it just in case. So this is kind of hard to stick on, and if you want, you could pull these out individually and it'd make life a lot easier. But what I did was I just cut it all up. That way I could at least get an idea of where it needs to stick at. So that's pretty much where I'm at right here. Just remember, these trucks have reverse rake, so it does kind of go down at a slant. And yeah, all you gotta do is just pull off the back. Once you pull this off, it's go time. So don't do it until you're 100% ready. And once you pop it on there, it's gonna stick. So try to make sure you have it lined up exactly where you want it at. All right, there, I would say. Actually, I'm gonna come down just a hair. All right. See, like it's sticking. All right, here. And I think that's good. And I'm just gonna kind of do it one by one. Okay. And then boom. That's it. That's the finished product. Looks just like it did before, just blacked out now. The rear badge is pretty easy. All you have to do is just eyeball it. That's what I did here. You can obviously tape it if you want, but yeah, this one is pretty easy. Even if you're off just slightly, just make sure that it's nice and straight. That's it. But this one here is the toughest one because you have to put these on individually. So I have to take my time. And it does kind of look like that M is bigger than the C. You guys see that? Very interesting. But I'm gonna go ahead and call it a night. I'm pretty much tired, so I'm just gonna finish off taping it. I hit this with heat before, and I'll hit it again tomorrow with heat. Hopefully that should get the glue nice and hard enough to where it just comes off. And yeah, all the tools I have in here have been working great. So be sure to check out the description below for Amazon, and I'll show you guys the finished product here. And just like that, guys, we are done. That came out perfect. And I have to address a question that someone asked because it was a good one. I was thinking about wrapping my bumper like in like a satin finish, but now that I have these badges, I have some high gloss with that matte satin finish in the center of it, so it all flows now. This side badge here, I could have made it a little bit easier. So you guys probably saw that there were some like popped out holes on the template. If you're taping this off, you can actually scribble in those holes. That way when you take off the old badge and then put this back up against it, you could make it a lot easier to lay it. But honestly, the way I did it probably added 5 more extra minutes to it. So either way you go, it was going to be the same result. Up front, you have to remove the grill to get these in, because there's no way you're going to be able to remove the old badges and put these in. And you don't want to put the grill back up before you install the new ones, because getting the new ones in are kind of a challenge too. So you're going to have to push from both sides to get them to secure fasten. And I love the way this truck looks. It came out perfect. I am thinking about having my buddy maybe do something with these 4s in red to maybe match the bronze. I know it's meticulous, but you know, this is like my forever truck, so I'm okay to be meticulous with this one. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I will be doing some updates on the bumper. You guys pretty much saw the install video, and that went well. It looks great. So next year, the goal is to probably lift the truck, get new wheels and tires. I'm thinking about going maybe 38s. Thinking about it. It's a dream, but again, it's a lot of money, so I don't know if I'll do it. So next year, lock into the channel, subscribe. See you guys soon.